Hey guys, before getting into the comparison, I would like to make a request. Latest YouTube policy changes are a big hit for small YouTubers like me, so I would be extremely grateful if you subscribe. I only need 1000 subscribers. That's what I need to continue my work on YouTube. Thank you. Let's move to the comparison. This is the Nikon Coolpix P900. 2 years old bridge camera with largest in Nikon's range 83x optical zoom. This is something more recent, Nikon Coolpix B700, almost 1-year-old super zoom with 60x optical zoom. In this video we will compare them and try to find out which one is better choice. P900 is little bit more expensive, but they are in similar price range and many people consider these two models and have difficulties choosing one. I think this video will be very helpful to make a decision. Firstly, let's take a look at specs. B700 has 20 megapixel sensor, 60x zoom, 24 to 1440mm, equivalent of 35mm, with f3.3 to 6.5 aperture lens. Ability to shoot 4K video at maximum of 30 frames per second, and it weighs 570 grams. P900 has 16 megapixel sensor, 83x zoom, 24 to 2000mm in equivalent of 35mm, with f2.8 to 6.5 aperture lens. Ability to shoot 1080p at 60 frames per second, and it weighs 899 grams. Both have articulating screens and electronic viewfinders, as well as flash, stereo mics and overall very similar looking body with similar button layout. Starting with build quality, to be honest, P900 wins hands down in this category. Rubber grip has better, more premium texture, dials are more DSLR-like quality, and construction has more metal parts in it. P900 is little bit bigger though, and significantly heavier due to its much bigger lens, and I gotta say that weight ratio isn't exactly 50-50. You can feel dragging force of the lens when you hold the camera while zooming. That may be a small downside for some, but I think this crazy focal length justifies it. Electronic viewfinder and LCDs are exactly the same quality. Viewfinders are very small and it would be best to describe them as just usable. Quality is a little bit suspect. LCDs are decent, but they are not so accurate in terms of color reproduction, looking too warm, with little yellowish or green kind of tint. Anyway, for an average consumer it should be completely satisfying. One thing that both lacks is protective layer on the LCD. Unfortunately, I scratched B700 screen a little bit, and I don't know why it happened, because I thought I was very careful with it. But that's how it is with naked screens without any protection. For example, all of the Nikon DSLRs has glass cover that protects the screen. Autofocus. I haven't done specific comparison, but I feel like P900 was little bit better and faster. I think I had more problems getting B700 to focus on some objects than P900. Both are acceptable, nothing like contrast and phase detect autofocus found in some Sony Alphas or some flagship smartphones. It would be definitely nice to see Nikon upgrading to better and newer autofocus technology. As far as optical image stabilization goes, I'm pretty sure that Nikon P900 OIS is very different from B700. It works better, which is very important in cameras with such zoom capabilities, because most of the time you want to shoot handheld. Maybe its heavier lens and overall weight is also doing a job there, making it little more stable to hold. Either way, Coolpix P900 wins once again. In terms of zoom difference, many people wonder, is it that much big of a deal when it comes to difference between 83x and 60x optical zoom? And answer is yes and no. It all depends on the object. Farther and less visible the object, the extra zoom difference is getting more and more significant. Look at those photos and think about what you plan to shoot and decide, is that extra focal length really that important to you? I thought both have completely different sensor, judging from resolution difference or at least various picture processing technology, and the results in photo quality would be much different. I expected newer, higher resolution B700 to win in this category. I was wrong. It turns out that the photos from both are almost identical. Yes, you heard it right. But wait a minute before closing this video. Not exactly. Remember what I mentioned in specs of both cameras in the beginning? This is the part where a difference is visible and influences shooting results. P900 is significantly brighter, 2.8 aperture compared to B700 3.3 aperture at 24mm. And this is not only advantage at 24mm, but all the way through the focal length. You will get lower ISO or faster shutter speed and better depth of field. Aside from that, results from both are almost identical. Overall image quality is good, but there is a bunch of things to improve, especially when we look how today's smartphone cameras perform and why they started to outsell and displace bridge cameras. Photos in daytime are sharp with pretty accurate color tones, just not expect DSLR level of details and crystal clear nuances in the crop. Like in any small sensor camera, you will get the typical flatness. Dynamic range could be a little bit better, especially when compared to some flagship smartphones with super fast auto HDR modes. But in comparison with its super zoom rivals from other manufacturers, dynamic range is definitely on a good level. In terms of movie recording, like I said earlier, B700 is capable of shooting 4K video at 30 frames per second, while P900 maximum video resolution is 1080p at 60 frames per second. Full HD video from both is once again on the same level. It's unfortunately quite disappointing. Video is digitally sharpened, there is not much detail, everything looks artificially sharp and dull. It gets even more terrible when there is less light. Surprisingly, video quality when you zoom is getting better, but still don't expect natural and crystal clear image. Low light recordings are also a disappointment. A lot of noise and softness. You would expect something more acceptable in 2017. 4K recording capability in B700 is helping a little bit, compared to Full HD. You will get more details and sharper image, so I would give a credit to B700 in this department. To sum up, if you want best photo quality, stabilization and biggest zoom, Coolpix P900 is an obvious choice. However, if smaller camera with little worse but still very powerful zoom and 4K video recording is your concern, think about Coolpix B700 or maybe consider camera from some other manufacturer. Anyway, P900 is definitely my choice and a beast without any rivals. But if I would need to pick up something, I would probably wait for P900's successor, which should be released soon. That's all I had to share with you today. Let me know about your opinions and choice of winner in the comments. Remember to subscribe my channel and rate my video if you want. See you in the next one. Peace.